Hi, everybody. Wanted to chat with you a little bit about moving into home prepared foods. It's one of the things that many people will make the transition to, especially those people who like to cook, who like to grocery shop, which is not my thing, which is one of the reasons why I love the Volhard diet is I really only have to buy the meat and I don't have to do any calculations. So I can stockpile meat in the freezer and just pull it out as I need it, mixing it with the other components of the nutrients from the dehydrated mix. So the mistake that many people make when they move into preparing meals at home is that they don't do a lot of balancing. They'll move into lean chicken without the skin and some vegetables, and often their choice is peas and carrots, right? Or even rice. And unfortunately, what we're getting in that type of home prepared meal is a diet that is not nutritionally balanced. And in fact, it has a ton of carbs, right? It has a ton of sugars that we know feed into damaged cells of our body and can wreak havoc on the health of our pet over time. It's the same thing for you. Diets high in carbs are not our best option. And especially for our pets that are carnivores by design, they don't need a lot of carbs. And, you know, we get into this, well, I don't want to feed grain-fed foods, but some grains are okay, just not tons of corn and tons of filler kinds of things. But when we get into quality grains like millet or oats, then that can be okay. And in fact, there's some studies talking about grain-free foods and some deficiencies in taurine, which is starting to look like it is causing some health issues with heart disease for many of our pets. That you can look up a study about golden retrievers and a taurine deficiency and identify that this is believed to be a link to heart issues. I don't believe that that's limited to just the breed of golden retriever. I lost 2 Great Danes at very young ages to heart issues. And so that in part is why I'm on this path of learning more about nutrition and wellness for the animals as well as for me. When you start doing a home prepared meal, you have to make some calculations in the amount of protein, the amount of organ meat, the amount of vegetables that's going in. We know fresh leafy greens and things like squashes are appropriate to put in the bowl, seasonal vegetables, but we can't do just lean chicken. There's a couple of reasons. One, your pets need animal fat. So if you're doing chicken, it needs to have the skin. It also needs to have some calcium, which means they need to have the bone, or you're adding in a good non-synthetic calcium supplement. So then what about other vitamins and minerals? There are a number of studies and a number of scientific, pieces of information that say mineral deficiencies are a core component of health issues for you and me and our pets, right? Vitamins and minerals matter. And if we are in a situation of making a home prepared food that looks exactly the same week after week after week after week, with no variance in protein and no variance in the vegetables and no variance in adding in maybe some appropriate fruits or some appropriate grains, then we are feeding our dog what looks better than kibble, but it is not balanced. Kibble actually has a scientific, mathematically calculated balance of nutrients. They might be synthetic, they might get all pooped out the back end or peed out the back end, but the balance has been created in that bag. you have to create balance in anything that you're preparing for your pet, especially if you have an aging pet, right? We all have pets that are aging every day, so are we. But as they become little senior citizens, it's even more important. And certainly as we move into this situation of having wellness issues, health issues, or being borderline in some of those health issues, the nutrition completely matters. So you've got to look at, where are your calcium sources coming from? Is that calcium to phosphorus ratio appropriate? Am I giving animal fat? Am I giving vitamins and minerals appropriately? Are the proteins varied enough that they're getting omega-3, omega-6, omega-9? Do I have them on a joint supplement? Are the digestive enzymes there, right? There are a ton of things that you need to keep in mind when you begin making a home prepared food. There are great recipes, right? And I really do think you need a recipe until you get your head wrapped around this mathematical piece of the balance of vitamins and minerals and the appropriate nutrients. Because when you have a dog out of balance, you're going to start seeing wellness issues surface, even though what's in the bowl looks a whole lot better than kibble. The same is true for us. And it's taken me a really long time to understand that and to wrap my head around trying to eat better myself. Okay. So just to recap this home cooked thing, it's not about chicken and rice and peas and carrots. You've got to have greens in there. You have got to have vegetables. You probably need a few fruits, natural fruits, and you definitely need protein sources. You need the right protein source for your dog's energy system, right? We'll talk more about that in Chinese medicine topics later, but you need the right protein, because the protein could be fueling systems of the body to perform poorly, to react with behavioral issues, to react with skin issues or eye issues or ear issues or joint issues or anything that could respond to inflammation in the body, right? So all of this matters. Getting good, high quality supplements matter. You need to be looking at Volhard. You need to be looking at Young Living essential oils as they have supplements that you can take in your pet. And so when I started moving myself into the supplement category, I feel a whole lot better. Things for me function better, feel better. Skin feels better, not nearly as dry. So this absolutely applies to our pets as well. So again, I love the fact that many of you are moving into a home prepared diet, but you've got to do a little calculation, or you've got to move to a product that's doing that calculation for you and helping you keep it simple, and getting yourself where we are not creating a new problem as we are taking an effort to make things better. So we'll talk more in the next video about the raw diet and things that you can start working on there.